So I definitely was not planning on making a video this weekend because it is actually about 12:20 a.m. right now as I'm recording this. And I just got done with a pretty long session of Halo Infinite PvP because they're doing the flight this weekend, and that's pretty much where all my time is going to be this weekend. And I just kind of figured, I've got some energy left. Why not start working on a video? And considering that there was some big news just less than 48 hours ago, I figured it'd be nice to cover it here on the channel. And of course, the news that I am talking about is the fact that the Initiative has announced publicly that they are partnering with Crystal Dynamics to help work on their reboot of Perfect Dark. And this is news that certainly got the internet talking, and I have definitely got some thoughts on it, so let's get right into the video. Yes, you heard right. The Initiative themselves announced that they are partnering with Crystal Dynamics for Perfect Dark. And like I said, I've got a lot of thoughts on this. Mostly positive, but I do have one rather negative thought that I figured I'd get out of the way early on so that we can end the video on a positive note. So, first up, I think this is very telling, about how hard studios have been hit by the pandemic. I mean, we've seen setbacks at numerous studios in the industry, even within Xbox game studios. We've seen a game like Hellblade 2 get set back simply because they had a period of months where they just weren't able to do mocap. And I'd imagine that the Initiative is no stranger to setbacks like this, especially considering that in the very next tweet from the Initiative, they mentioned that the game is still quote-unquote early in development. Now, this is all the negative stuff I wanted to talk about, so let's get right into the positive stuff. While I think it's weird to publicly announce a partnership with another studio for a game that is still early in development, I think in this specific case, this partnership makes a lot of sense. And reason number one for that is that the current studio head of the Initiative was actually in charge of the 2013 Tomb Raider reboot by Crystal Dynamics, which, by the way, if for some reason you haven't played that game, please go ahead and do it, especially on next gen with the FPS boost and the auto HDR on both Series X and S. That game to me is hands down the best action adventure game ever made. I mean, that's just my opinion, but that game is amazing. But to get back to the topic, considering the fact that he and many other developers within the Initiative worked on that game, I think that it's probably incredibly natural for them to be working with them again to ship another reboot of an IP led by a strong female character. But I think one problem that a lot of people seem to have with this is the fact that the Initiative is supposedly this quote-unquote quadruple A studio, and people think it's weird that they're bringing in outside help to work on the game. But the thing about that is that it's easy to forget how small of a studio the Initiative really is. I'm not even sure that there's over 100 employees. I think last I checked there was like 70 something employees at that studio. And they've stated before that they want to remain small and agile while making these big, high quality games. And less than 100 people is incredibly small for any studio with AAA aspirations. All of this is to say that I'm not really surprised that they're outsourcing for help on this project, because even with adding the entire Crystal Dynamics team, that's only an extra 170 to 180 people, and overall that puts around 250 people on this project. And even that is pretty damn small for a AAA studio. I mean, think of a studio like 343 with over 500 people, and even they're getting help from the Coalition on Halo Infinite. And think of studios like Naughty Dog or Sony Santa Monica who outsource for help from various different developers on their games. So this stuff isn't really unheard of. And let's be perfectly honest here, Perfect Dark was an absolutely massive IP back in the day, and obviously Xbox wants to do the IP justice, so bringing in an entire other studio to help the game along in its development is excellent news as far as I'm concerned. But what do you guys think about this news? Does bringing in Crystal Dynamics make you more or less hyped for the game? Leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Leave a like if you liked the video, and please remember to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the content, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all my latest videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.